Seth Rogen is going viral, but unfortunately it's for all of the wrong reasons. Seth is facing a lot of backlash right now on Twitter after he made some comments about YouTuber Casey Neistat. For starters though, let's go back a little bit. All of this kicked off when Casey discovered that his car had been broken into while he was in Los Angeles. Not only that, but they had also taken several items as well, and so he was understandably upset. So in a tweet, the YouTuber gave Los Angeles a piece of his mind and said, "So our cars got robbed this morning because Los Angeles is a crime-riddled third world hole of a city, but tremendous appreciation and gratitude to the hardworking officers at the LAPD West LA who not only arrested the mofo, but they got all of our stolen goods back," which is pretty on par with how most people would react if they had just found out that their car had been broken into. I mean, the crime in LA is so bad that as JD Witherspoon is replying to this tweet, his bikes get stolen. First he tweets, "Whoa, that's insane, glad everything worked out. LA has definitely become more of a survival ground since the pandemic, and things on the west side I hear aren't great. Glad no one was hurt and your items were returned." And then immediately after that says, "I guess it's not just the west side. As soon as I finished that tweet, I noticed me and my wife's bikes were stolen from our weird indoor-outdoor garage. Blame the landlord for the design. And we gifted them to each other when we first started dating. Damn, life sucks." But for Seth Rogen, he still seems to think that Los Angeles is safer than the third world city label that Casey went with earlier. Although calling anyone's home a third world anything would probably make them upset. So I understand Seth Rogen trying to defend his current city. Seth replied to Casey's tweet and said, "Dude, I've lived here for over 20 years. You're nuts. It's lovely here. Don't leave anything valuable in it. It's called living in a big city." And it is lovely in Los Angeles, but that doesn't mean that you can't get upset over your stuff being stolen. Casey goes on to reply to this and says, "I can still be mad though, right? Feel so violated." Now here's where things start to take a turn for the worse. Seth Rogen starts all of this by telling Casey that he's nuts for being mad about having his stuff stolen and calling the city what he did in that fit of rage, but then goes on to explain how he too had been robbed a bunch of times in the city. He replies to Casey asking if he is allowed to be mad and says, "You can be mad, but I guess I don't personally view my car as an extension of myself, and I've never really felt violated any of the 15 or so times my car was broken into. Once a guy accidentally left a cool knife in my car, so if it keeps happening, you might get a little treat." In response to that, Casey said, "I didn't get any treats. He just took the decorations for my daughter's 7th birthday party and left bloody handprints. Serious question, how did you get your car broken into 15 times? Seth then tells Casey that he has lived in West Hollywood for the last 20 years and parked on the street before, adding, "Also, it sucks your stuff was stolen, but LA is not some whole city. As far as big cities go, it has a lot going for it." I mean, it's a fair point from Seth that you probably shouldn't leave your personal belongings out in the open while your car is parked in a city, especially around the holidays. Crime increases because people are just getting very desperate. But a lot of people were coming after Seth Rogen and saying that these comments were out of touch. One user writes, "Over 100 follow home robberies this month on Melrose. Also, much love for you both, but check your priv, dude. It's just stuff is a cute thing millionaires say when they forget how hard others have to work to pay for a car or camera that's livelihood is stolen out of a car, etc." This Twitter chain then goes on and on for days, and I really don't think that when Seth Rogen replied to this tweet that he would be met with so much backlash online. One person summed up Seth Rogen's response to Casey's perfectly and said, "Seth Rogen over here, like, I know you said the restaurant gave you food poisoning, but I've had food poisoning many times from there and I still love the food. Plus one time they gave me extra bread. Maybe don't crap on the guy who just had a really bad day." Look, it's absolutely awful that Casey had his daughter's birthday decorations stolen, but hopefully the next time that he's in town, he can just park his car at Seth Rogen's place, just to be safe. But for now, that's all the time that we have for you today. Stay classy, and I'll see you on the next one.